Paint this coconut. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint into the center of the gray color for the coconut and add a little texture. That will be the first thing I'm going to do. When I do it, I'm going to leave that area untouched. In most of my demonstration, I only use 3 colors, so you know what you can expect. And I'm going to put in some yellow color, so the 3 colors mixed together can create a gray colors. Making a little more red. I think that is close to the colors. Maybe a little more red. That is the color we want. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. I'm gonna starting right in the center here, maybe a little bit lighter, but I'm going to leave this area untouched. If you have a good brush, it should be very easy to control. And I'm going to also paint it into this area. So I just leave there a gap. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna start making the color a little bit lighter. Maybe even add a little more blue colors on the outside. Outside here a little bit lighter. Okay, I also want to make that lighter too. So this is this area is kind of like a one-time painting, and this is good. And I'm going to also putting the colors on the side here, and this looks a little bit more blue than the other colors, so I adding a little blue color here. I also can leave some gap for the texture of the coconut. Okay. Maybe this should be a little bit lighter too. Just to leave off some colors. Okay, good. Smoother edge. Good. I'm gonna, this side have a little bit more of the red color. Quickly, if I want to soften it. I want to soften it really quickly. And now come here a little bit lighter. lighter. Still soft and wet. I'm gonna take away some colors. Make the light. That's good. And I'm going to start painting into the first round, the light brown colors. I'm gonna mix the colors with the yellow, red, and a little bit blue. This, maybe a little bit more yellow. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna start putting the colors quickly as the first layer into also put the colors on the outside edge here. Okay. And down here has a little darker color after the scratch. So I'm gonna put the color a little bit darker underneath. I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna come here to start painting around outside of the coconut shell. A little bit more yellow. Okay, moving my brush. I want that a little bit darker later. I want to add some darker brown colors. Let's take a little break. After it dries, I'm going to continue to the next step. Now the first layer is completely dry. I'm going to start putting the darker brown colors. Make much darker and yellow. That's good. I'm going to start applying the colors, and I'm going to do that really quickly. Much darker under here. I'm going to mix some color even darker. And what I want is, I'm gonna make this quickly a little bit lighter. Take some color away and use the lifting off to create a little texture. Take away some colors. And some areas is ready to be scratched, and some areas not. Usually I wait like a 70% dry before I start scratching. It's not ready, so I'm gonna continue coming down to the catch to shadow. I put a little more blue colors here. For the catch to shadow. And I keep looking at the color if it's dry enough for the scratch. That's good. I'm gonna leave the catch the shadow. I come back to continue that. I'm gonna start scratching over here. Yes, sir. Nice line. Scratching, always scratching outward. Okay, that's good. Now I start coming back, adding some darker shadow. Okay, for example, put a little bit yellow color in this area. make it lighter and put the yellow color in. And soften the outside for the catch the shadow. When I come back on this side, make it even darker underneath. Okay. And here a little softer to catch the shadow. Okay. I'm going to try to scratch some new line again. Now I'm going to leave this alone for now before I come back to adding some even darker values in these areas. I'm going to start coming back here to work on the black ring. I'm going to make in a dark purple colors. I'm going to leave that white too. That's good. Continue. X-Acto knife. Scratch. And then a little bit here too. Okay, now this is good. I'm gonna come back to the cast shadow, make some area even darker. Right underneath here. Soften it, connect to the existing colors. And I think I need to soften the outside. I'm gonna use a big brush. Okay. Then this area. Okay, now is a good time to return back to the coconut here and adding a little bit more detail and also make the bottom a little bit darker. Okay. Having some color darker. Okay, I have some darker details in this area, a little gap. That is the bottom of the coconut. It appeared quite dark, so putting that, suggesting that this is the bottom. And it's almost there, and it's good. And now while I'm waiting for that to dry, and I'm gonna come back here to fill in the light brown colors to the gap I left it. It's making sure it's light enough and also it's not quite continuous colors, and a little bit here and there, and showing the toning of the line. I'm also going to add in some very teeny tiny details. And this part here, just suggesting is the texture. And that's almost there with this painting. The last thing I would like to do is do a little dry scratch over here. I'm gonna using lifting off to make this area a little lighter. This is not from the scratching. It should be a smooth, light area. I'm gonna have that look a bit lighter right here. Okay, much better. That. A little chips on the table, and a little bit here. Here. Somewhere a little bit lighter, golden colors. I'm gonna add a couple here. Make it a curve a little bit look random. Maybe it's somewhere too much. So if that's the case, just wash it off and make it lighter. Make it close to invisible. Okay. it's done.